The jury in the Delphi murder trial will continue its deliberations this morning in a case that's devastated the small Indiana town and thrust it into the national spotlight.
And their verdict will determine the fate of Richard Allen, the man accused of murdering teenagers Libby German and Abby Williams more than 7.5 years ago. NBC5's Jen Shantz joins us from the control center with what's expected from court this weekend. Jen?
Well, Kate, Patrick, jurors have deliberated for about 9 hours so far. They started those deliberations Thursday, and they will resume them this morning at 9 o'clock. During the course of this trial, they have heard the testimony from 64 witnesses and have viewed more than 300 exhibits. Now, because of the attention on this case, the 16 jurors from neighboring Allen County have been sequestered for 23 days so far. As they continue to deliberate, they can ask to review evidence. Richard Allen, 52, is facing a total of 4 murder charges. Prosecutors say he killed Libby German and Abby Williams on a hiking trail in 2017 where they were taking pictures. He wasn't arrested until 5 years later. This case has drawn massive attention from true crime enthusiasts around the country. Community members in Delphi and the surrounding area have been watching since the trial started October 18th. They say they're seeking justice and closure for the teen girls' families, many camping out for weeks outside the Carroll County Courthouse, hoping to get one of the few public seats available.
On and off since the beginning of the trial. Even if you spend the night, sleep in the cold and rain, you aren't even guaranteed to get in.
Prosecutors point to alleged confessions from Allen since being incarcerated, something his defense team has cast doubts on, claiming it was the result of a mental health breakdown after months in solitary confinement. If convicted, Allen faces up to 130 years behind bars. The judge in this case, who has prohibited video or audio recording of any kind during the trial, will give the jury a bit of a break this weekend. If they do not reach a verdict today, they will have tomorrow off and then resume deliberations on Monday. Patrick.
All right, we'll see what happens. Thank you, Jen.
We interrupt programming for breaking news from NBC Chicago.
Good afternoon. I'm Alex Maragos. We have breaking news right now. There has been a verdict just announced in the Delphi double murder case. Suspect Richard Allen has been found guilty in the murders of 13-year-old Abigail Williams and 14-year-old Liberty German. That was back in February of 2017. Allen faced 4 counts in all, 2 counts of murder and 2 additional counts of murder while committing or attempting to commit a kidnapping. It is guilty, we have learned, on all 4 counts, that just being announced by the jury seconds ago in the Carroll County Courthouse. Now, the girls had been hiking on a trail in Delphi, Indiana. That's north of Indianapolis, just northeast of Lafayette, about 120 miles or so from Chicago. Prosecutors said it was Richard Allen who forced the girls down a hill and then cut their throats. And prosecutors played a recording of Allen confessing to the crime. The defense claimed that there was a lack of DNA evidence, and they said Allen confessed because of psychosis after he spent time in solitary confinement. Allen's attorney argued that he should be acquitted, but we have learned it is guilty on all 4 counts for 52-year-old Richard Allen in the Delphi murder case, a case that has captured attention across the country since the murders were committed in 2017. We're going to be following this story very closely for you through the rest of the afternoon and hope to hear more from prosecutors and the defense if possible in the case. We'll have much more on this on the NBC5 News at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And always you can get news on the Delphi verdict and reaction to it anytime at NBCChicago.com or the NBC Chicago app. I'm Alex Maragos. Have a good afternoon.
Tonight, we begin with a verdict in the Delphi double murder trial. More than 7 years after Abby Williams and Libby German were murdered on a trail in Delphi, Indiana, a jury has found the man accused of killing them guilty. NBC5's Christian Farr joining us now with more on the verdict. Christian?
Allison, this is a case that has dragged on since.
After a 4-week trial, Richard Allen was found guilty in the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German 7 years ago in the small Indiana town of Delphi. The jury deliberated for 3 days before reaching their verdict.
Today's that day that those families can start the healing process. This part is done.
The jury reached its final decision following a 4-week trial in which they heard from dozens of witnesses who testified during a 17-day period. Prosecutors described Allen as the bridge guy, a man seen in a social media video walking along a then abandoned bridge. That video had been captured on Liberty's cell phone and later released by authorities in an effort to identify the man they believe killed the 13-year-old and 14-year-old. WTHR says Allen's wife told reporters this isn't over at all following the verdict. Allen's defense attorney says the physical description witnesses gave on the stand of the bridge guy did not match his client at all. The attorney also said the repeated confessions Allen made were false, attributing them to a mental health crisis because Allen was in solitary confinement. Many people watched this case unfold while camped outside of the courthouse.
It struck a chord with me. I've watched trials and everything and followed cases like this all my life.
Now, throughout the case, a gag order was in place. The judge is keeping that gag order in place until Allen is sentenced on December 20th. Stefan?
NBC5's Christian Farr with us tonight. Christian, thank you very much.
Guilty on all counts. An Indiana jury convicts Richard Allen in the murders of two young girls in Delphi, best friends, Abigail Williams and Liberty German. They were brutally murdered more than 7 years ago.
This is much needed closure for the girls' heartbroken family and neighbors who have been in the courtroom persisting through weeks of gruesome testimony. NBC5's JC Navarrete is here with us tonight with a reaction to this verdict. JC?
Yes, Steph and Allison, 19 hours. That is how long it took the jury to come down with the guilty verdict. It's hard to believe, but Abby Williams and Libby German would be in their early 20s right now. The best friends were brutally murdered while out for a walk one day before Valentine's back in 2017. This verdict brings their family and, of course, the friends and community one step closer to closure. Now, as the verdict was read, the family of the girls held hands and cried while Allen sat there motionless.
Those families can start the healing process. This part is done.
A case that captured the nation, finally reaching its end. Richard Allen found guilty of the brutal double murder of Abby Williams and Liberty German, the teens just 13 and 14 years old. Allen, a husband, father, and pharmacy employee, now convicted of the 2017 slaying. Prosecutors saying he forced the girls off a trail in Delphi, Indiana. The teens' bodies found a day later with their throats slit. The case going cold for 5 years before Allen was finally arrested. Some of the prosecution's key pieces of evidence found on Libby's cell phone, like this video of a man the prosecution believes to be Allen, and this separate audio recording as he held the teens at gunpoint. And the defendant's numerous confessions and a recorded phone call behind bars telling his wife, "I did it. I killed Abby and Libby." His lawyers maintaining his innocence, arguing those confessions only a side effect of psychosis.
It's the bane of every defense lawyer's existence, and with clients who don't keep their mouth shut.
The defense further arguing there was no DNA evidence tying Allen to the scene, saying tests comparing a bullet to his gun were inconclusive. The prosecution's argument saying he slit their throats, he stole the youth and life away from Abby and Libby.
It's just awful. Yeah. That will always be in our hearts.
Families and lawyers still under a gag order by the judge, but tonight, NBC affiliate WTHR capturing Allen's wife, breaking her silence. They say she says in a shaky voice, quote, "This isn't over." That gag order will be in place until Richard Allen's sentencing on December 20th. He faces up to 130 years. Allison.
JC, thank you.